Hello, my fellow gamers, and welcome to match 3 of this best out of 5 between Evenstar and Showtime. If you haven't seen the previous episodes, go quickly watch them before I spoil it. So, Evenstar is winning 2-0 at this time, and he has gone for the Vampire Count. Showtime going for the forces of Bretonnia. A lot of peasants here, some elite cavalry, archers, but a lot of infantry. Well, here we've got a lot of weak infantry, some cav, and some big hitters as well. So let's have a look. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 units of zombies. We do have a necromancer on a corpse cart. We then have 2 units of the skeleton warriors. It looks like 3 units of blood knights. Yes, it is. 2 units of the Vargeist, and I believe they're mixed in with 2 units of Felbatch as well as support. Finally, we have Von Carstein, Vampire Lord, on a dragon, looking very menacing there. Storm of the Night, we got, is that the one that stops him from moving? Yeah, pretty much, yeah. That's the one people have commented on in my earlier battles, that ability. We got Flock of Doom, we have Raise the Dead, and we have Identification of No Heck, always a good one. And Pestilent Breath, oh, that's the Dragon Breath, of course it is. Now, for the noble forces of Bretonnia, fighting to stay in this tournament and get into the finals, we have 5 units of peasant mobs. We have got a couple of units of spearmen protecting the flanks, 4 units of the peasant bowmen, 2 the fire arrows, 2 with pox arrows. We then have the, believe those are battle pilgrims, including the Regiment of Renown, some men at arms with polearms there for the support. Then we've got Grail Guardians. Oh wow, these are expensive. 3 units of Grail Guardians. And then we've got Defenders of the Flidulus. Knights Errant, Regiment of Renown. That's all you need to know. We then have a Paladin on foot. And we have the Fey Enchantress, who has got the Awakening of the Wood and Earth Blood. Let's have a look at these guys. Oh yes, the Defenders in their striking blue and white. I do like that colour scheme. That is very nice. Let the battle begin. The forces of Bretonnians outnumber the undead quite a lot. By what, 600? 5 to 600? But then again, that's all peasants. So, yeah, does that really count? I'm not quite sure. Both players are going to be very cautious at this point. If the Vampire Counts win, he's done it. He's through to the finals, and the Bretonnians will be pushed to the battle for 3rd place. No artillery for either side. Well, there's no range for the undead, but no for Bretonnians either. They definitely have the cavalry advantage as well, just based on numbers. Even the music is suspenseful for this battle. It's all to play for. Vampire Counts get themselves in position. It looks like they don't want to give... They want to go more on this rocky here than the flat plains. Get themselves in Bretonnia, moving in. I do like the way these two players are very cautious players. They don't just rush in. It's like, this is like... Where the battle meets is actually very important, and they know that. In comes cavalry and moving forward as well. Everything's getting themselves... I think the forces of the Bretonnia are now making their move. I believe... It looks like the Vampire Counts are actually grabbing the high ground over the Bretonnians. Take that advantage off from them and their archers. Yeah, it looks like that's exactly what they're doing. If I was Bretonnia, I'd be tempted to try and hit in. But then again, you've got the Blood Knights guarding them. But it's just where these zombies take so long to set up. You could get in, get a few kills, and run off again. But with the flyers and that, yeah, it's probably not worth the risk. They're getting themselves in position. Look, they've lined themselves up, but they've taken the high ground off the Bretonnians. The Vampire Counts have actually managed to move in. The Felbatch flapping away, moving their way to flank. Probably trying. They're going to probably just get thrown into the archers when the battle begins, just to stop them from shooting. Like, don't expect them to survive. Just to throw them in there. Looks like the Felgeist are getting themselves into position as well. 2.5 minutes in. I've seen battles end in this time. These guys are just setting up. Right. When are the vampire counts going to move? They've been quite aggressive. Their posture and got themselves in the high ground. Looks like the order has been given to move forward. Now their flanking forces have moved in as well. First, this Bretonnian line's probably just against like the undead. That's going to break, surely. And that's what they got to be prepared for. Is when that front line breaks, the vampire counts need to be prepared to jump on in this nice gooey centre of the archers here, the weaker units, and any peasants that are running get some free kills in. Looks like Bretonnia folks, they're trying to get themselves into archer range, and I believe they now are in archer range. So they'll start getting shots off. There they go. There's the first volleys have been fired. It's taken 3.5 minutes, but the zombies are now being shot at. Where the fail batch? Yep. Look at this position. Look at the position on the map as well. They've got themselves lined up. The undead, they're ready. They can take losses. They're not worried about the zombies. It looks like the order has now been given to a move in and attack for the vampire counts. And they have to, because otherwise the archers could just sit there all day and shooting the zombies and the corpse cart. Don't want that. Don't want the necromancer loss. Looks like the black knights are moving forward. Are they going in for the charge, or are they just moving for support? Looks like, what are they doing? Don't hesitate. You want to get in there. Looks like they are charging in now. It's taken 4 minutes, but we've got in there. Cavalry moving in. And they back away because then comes the Grail Guardians, and they ain't going to mess with them. Got a charge in there as well. The Fire Archers going for the Necromancer. Now falling back, and now the numbers of the Vampire Counters come in. The Skeleton Warriors, the Zombies. Looks like we're going to have some raised dead. Yep, Skeleton Warriors coming in there. Where are these flanking forces? They want to be crunching in there. Oh, what's going on here? Looks like the Necromancer, the Vampire Counter, moving in to focus on one flank of the army. But in the meantime, that does give Bretonnia 3 shots and a chance to get into position to do their own counter charges. But it looks like the archers are actually breaking because of the Skeleton Warriors. Oh, is this a breath attack going down on the Grail Guardians? Yes, it is. That was a beautiful hit there. And now he's coming in. The Vampire Counts are now committed, and they're focused on one flank of Bretonnia. Bretonnia needs to act as quickly as possible. These forces need to move in. There's no threat here. There's nothing here. Bring everything in. Flank around if you can. We can't just have them standing there. Forces of Bretonnia, Grail Guardians are now breaking. That's what it's all about. They need to get rid of that elite cavalry. If they get rid of that elite cavalry, this Bretonnian army will fall apart so quickly. We got the infantry that are in there are being absolutely slaughtered. Flock of Doom being dropped as well. We still got peasants that are kind of just sitting around. No. Either keep them to protect or move in. You can't just have them sitting doing nothing. In comes the Failbats going straight for those archers as expected. And in they come as well. They can just be thrown in. And the Vampire Counts can just go, yeah, it's fine. Just, they'll be fine. Peasants trying to hold the front line, but as we know, that won't happen. This main battle over here going very much, I would say, in the Vampire Count's favour. Vargeist now getting in there. They're getting rid of all these Grail Guardians. They're getting rid of the defenders. The corpse cart's still going. The Vampire Lord have barely been touched. And the peasants are getting overwhelmed now by failed batter everywhere. Do have some zombies here. We do have some lag going on here. There's so much going on, the computer can't handle it. So if I slow it down. See that slight? There you go. It should be alright. Should be alright. But yeah, the forces of the Bretonnia, Vampire Counts are getting the upper hand. Remember guys, if the Vampire Counts win, Evenstar wins this, he's through to the finals. He is through for a best out of 7 and a chance for first place. The Bretonnians need to win this to stay in, otherwise they'll be the best they could hope for is 3rd place, which is still an amazing achievement out of the thousands that are playing. But I am really worried about this mob here. The Vampire Counts are dominating it, and a lot of what's left is just peasants. Looking at the numbers, actually, yeah, they're doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. Peasant mobs being chased away. The Failbats having a good time. They're having a good time. Yeah, and look, most of the cavalry is gone now. But I'm not even sure if there is much cavalry left for the Bretonnians. We do have Blood Knights and everything still just set down, chasing down survivors that try and run. A lot of forces are shattering now. And now the vampire counts, especially if they're air force and cavalry what's left, can just focus on the groups that are left and slaughter them, break them. We do have some Grail Guardians have rallied. But yeah, the failed bats and all that can just chase it. Look, as soon as they rally though, Vargeist all over them. Make them break instantly. Satter, and there we go, guys. They've done it. Evenstar has won their semi-final matchup 3-0 straight off the bat and will be moving straight into the finals. Showtime, unfortunately, will be knocked down into the bronze matchup for 3rd place, but still big prizes to be won in 3rd and 4th place. So well played there, Showtime. Yeah, it was just, I just felt like that one, I think the biggest problem is Bretonnia let the vampire count pick the battlefield. I mean, they gave them like 3-4 minutes of unharassment. Yeah, get your units in line, get them ready. And so the vampire counts picked where to fight, when to fight, and how to fight, and just absolutely decimate. And even was able to I mean, that's the thing that got me. There was the undead that are normally quite slow were able to outmaneuver the Bretonnians, so they suddenly focused on one flank and overwhelmed that one flank. And the Bretonnians allowed them to do that, which meant that suddenly they overwhelmed one side, and then the other side got overwhelmed with army losses, and yeah, it was kind of decided from there. But guys, put your thoughts below in the comments, hit that like button if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, as I'll be covering the next semi-finals matchup next week, and then afterwards the best for the, not best out of 3, sorry, the 3rd place battle, and then the finals themselves. So thank you so much for joining me, and I hope to see you for the next one. Till then guys, take care.